The progressions of these songs by Martin Garrix all share the same harmonic sequence. It is oftentimes perceived as emotionally moving and effective. You'll find this chord sequence even outside of the EDM world, in the Oblivion movie theme song, for example. Now obviously, if you hear the original versions of all of these songs, they sound truly different relative to each other. They are legitimately different songs. And that's because within this structure, there are quite a few things that you can vary. You can, for example, make the sequence last 8 bars instead of 4, apply chord changes on the backbeat, or insert transitional chords in between. But regardless of these variations, it stays very effective. Why is that? And what can we learn from this to make our own songs? Let's find out. In musical tonal systems, we initially use 7 out of the 12 distinct pitches to create chords. That specific set of 7 pitches is called a scale, and we start off by identifying the scale Martin Garrix uses. For his large catalog of work, he obviously uses all sorts of different tonal systems, but for the chord sequence that we discuss here, it is the so-called natural minor scale. You can start this scale in any key that you want. If you'd like to see the notes that you need in a different key, this simple animation shows you how to find the right notes, so you can pause the video to find the notes for another key. We'll stick to the key of B for this video. To find usable chords that you can use in this scale, you can build 3-note chords called triads. These triads are always a stack of 2 intervals called thirds, spanning a total of 5 staff positions. As there are 7 notes on the scale, you get 7 unique triads, and for the progression we'll use 4 out of these 7. So, if this is how you make the progression, how can we understand it? The first reason this progression is musically effective is because of its powerful build-up. From the first to the second chord is 2 staff positions up, and from the second to the third chord is also 2 staff positions up. That creates predictability. We're climbing a hill. The listener already and easily or subconsciously identifies this. And the summit of that hill, the highest note, also happens to be in the chord of the tonic, which is the key of the song. So the identity of the song is not revealed immediately at the first chord, but instead you musically build up to it, which is something that can be perceived as emotional and moving. After this build-up, the fourth chord follows, which does not have any notes in common with the chord that directly preceded it, which gives it a different color, very different from the sureness of the tonic directly before it. It is a musical way of announcing that the song is not done, so this way the listener is being prepared for the next sequence of chords. Another cause of the musical effectiveness of this sequence is its significant reuse of notes. As you can see, each adjacent chord in the 3-chord build-up has 2 out of 3 notes in common with the previous one. That creates a musical connection that makes the listener perceive the first 3 chords as a single build-up, rather than as 3 separate chords. And the last chord, which had the function of gluing the sequence to the next one, indeed has 1 note in common with the first chord of that next series. So in conclusion, this sequence performs many musical functions at the same time. It delivers a build-up with a culmination that coincides with the key of the song. It has predictability and a musical way to make the sequence repeatable to build a song. So this explains the structure of the 4-chord progression, but it still sounds rather basic. To make the sequence carry more musical weight or to add tension, you can add notes to the chords. And the trick is to do this without altering the structure, and for this you have several options. You can either add notes an octave higher to make the chord bigger, or add other notes from the scale to make the harmony thicker. Or apply chord inversion. Like so. Let's add a few more composition techniques to further empower the progression. Firstly, we can create tension and subsequent resolution in 2 out of the 4 chords. This F sharp, for example, in the third chord is preceded directly by a G in the second. Now, if you lower that G to an F sharp, you create a tension as the other G in the second chord is now fighting that F sharp. And to provide a resolution, you can double the F sharp in the third chord to emphasize that resolution. There you create an octave, which is perfectly consonant. Additionally, you can make the lowest notes of the progression work melodically, in this case by adding an extra E on the bottom of the fourth chord. This part is now melodic. You can see that this B note is used 3 times already. By adding it here in the fourth chord, it is always present in the chord progression, which creates a musical bonding layer. To summarize and clarify, I'll use the 4-chord progression with a new melody that I wrote to demonstrate all of the composition techniques of this video one by one. So, in conclusion, this rather simple chord progression performs several musical functions effectively and simultaneously. That makes you wonder if these insights can be applied to find and optimize other new exciting chord progressions as well. But that's a topic for another video. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and make some great music.